post his motherfucking stats. Post them. Hey, yo, Bleacher Report actually posted his stats. Like, for real, they actually got him on this page. You can go look now, see them shits. You really can go see them shits right the fuck now. Look, man. I'm not going to talk about the deficiencies of all the other Pelicans. Really, this is the Lonzo Zion game, okay? All right, this is the real duo of the Pelicans right here. This is what we're going to talk about. You know, Zion had like, 38, 37 points. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, actually he had 37 because they put up, he had 37, 9, and 8, if I'm not mistaken. And Zo had 33, 8 assists, 11 rebounds. Yeah, because Zion had 9 because they had 20. Okay, yeah, so that's how it works out. They both had 8 assists because that's how they got 16. Yeah, so they combined for a total of 70 points, 20 rebounds, 16 assists. And let me just say, I'm happy for Zo personally, you know what I'm saying? I'm extremely happy for the brother. You know, he finally got the new career high, 33 points, you know, and everything. I said he was going to get 34 and he was going to knock down 10 threes. That didn't quite happen. He got 8 threes. He still got 33, but that's okay. I'm a little off, but we ain't going to sweat that. Yes, I'm in the car right now because my son is playing a PlayStation and I ain't want to do it in my house and be hyper because I ain't know what the fuck is going to come out of my mouth after this game. But check this out. This game was terrible. I mean, it's hype because it was close at the end, and so they had to go to overtime and all that other stuff. But this wasn't a good game for the Pelicans. I mean, they started off, they got a pretty decent chunk of a lead, but I was sitting there thinking they started off 30-38 at the end of the first quarter. I'm like, you gave up 30 points in the first quarter? And then they brought it back in the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, it was like a little contested, and they started to lose the lead. Then they were down as much as 10 points before they came back and tied the game, and they just straight beat them. You know, they fouled out Cat, Nas Reed, and I can't remember the other fella's name, but they fouled them out. And after that, it was just like, shit, they ain't got nothing else to do but tank. You know, that's it. You know, they not playing for shit. But Zo started off the game cooking. He had 11 in the first quarter. Like, just straight up. And then he kind of fell off. He got 2 points in the second quarter. And then he had like 25 in the third. And that was pretty much all she wrote. You know, he got another 5 points or so off of free throws in the overtime. And then whatever the difference is for that, I think so. Yeah, he hit a 3 in the fourth, I believe, and that was it. You know, that's pretty much what his shots look like. He was 10 of 21, 8 of 17, 5 of 6 from free throw. And the only reason he got all those free throws is because they fouled him late in the game. So, you know, if we're going to be fair, he didn't score, 30 on his own merit. He kind of had to, get to the line, get some help because they needed to foul someone, so they decided to foul him because he had the ball in his hands. But this is bittersweet because it was always Zo can't get the 30 points. Okay, now he got the 30. He got the 33. What's your excuse? It was also Zo can't hit free throws. Late game, Zo missed 1 free throw, but he was knocking down all the rest. Okay, now what's the excuse? Well, Zo is not going to get 8, 3-pointers again. Well, he got 8 3-pointers. Now what's the excuse? What's the fucking excuse? Lonzo's sitting there out rebounding the people that's supposed to be leading in rebounds, and what's your fucking excuse? He's splitting point guard duties essentially with Zion, and they both got 8 assists. What's the fucking excuse? But you know who didn't show up? You know who didn't show up? I'm not gonna say his name. I said I wouldn't go do that. Y'all know I'm a fan of Ingram. I'm not gonna do that to him. He had a bad game. I mean, it's just, I don't know what it is about these like important ass games where he just don't bring it or he just don't show up. But it's like the national televised games and these close games, B.I. be like selling real hard. But I still like B.I. I still think he's an incredible player. I like, of all the nights to have a bad game, this is one of them. Because if they would have lost this game, this would have been squarely on his head. Squarely on his head. And all I got to say is this. Think about this. Pelicans literally got half of their points from two players. They ended the game 140 to 136. They got half of their points from Zo and Zion. Think about this. The other, like, what was that? 8 guys in the rotation, that includes the other 3 starters, contributed 70 points apiece. You know, they combined for 70. But those two alone got, like, see, when I talk about how this team is built and constructed, this is what the fuck I mean. 8 guys got you 70. You know, if you do math, that's about 9 points a guy. Obviously, not everybody had 9 points, because I think Bledsoe had like 14, and B.I. had like 14 at the end of the game. He was shooting like 4-15 from the field. It was some atrocious. B.I. just really didn't have it tonight. But I just want you guys to understand what we're looking at here. People want to say, okay, we're not getting good stuff from the point guards. Well, that's not true. When you're getting production from the point guards, it's not, or your guards, it's not their issue. This game still had to go into overtime for them to win. So, what's the issue? The issue is not the guard play necessarily. Yes, it could be better because you got Bledsoe in there, and Kira's still new. And honestly, he's really not contributing enough for my liking. But it's the rest of the team. It's literally the rest of the team. And ultimately, that's what's breaking this team right now. For instance, I would much rather have Naz Reid on this team than half of the guys that we got. Even if that means Hernan Gomez don't play or Jackson Hayes don't play. I'm sorry, I'm tired. A little hype, but tired. But I'd rather have a guy like Naz Reid on this team. I think he impacts winning at a higher level than most of everybody else we got. You know what I'm saying? You got D'Angelo Russell that was coming off the bench tonight. And he was 1 for 11 from 3, but he still managed to get 17 points and 11 assists. Anthony Edwards did his thing. Oh, by the way, it didn't go unnoticed that Zo clamped him in overtime. It didn't go unnoticed. I noticed that. He only got 1 bucket off of that because Zo got beat off the screen. Zo got to get better at that. But still, that's the only one he got. Every other shot that he got when he touched the ball and Zo had him, he had to give it up or miss the shot. Yes, Zo clamped him. Make sure I put that out there. Zo did clamp that nigga in OT when it mattered. Okay? But let's be fucking real. This is not a guard, you know, like, oh, the guards can't play. No. This is just bad team construction and bad scheming. This is a front office, to some degree, coaching problem. That's what this is. And I told you guys before the season started, I was like, Stan don't have the guys that he really want to play. And if people didn't believe me, JJ even said on his podcast that once they got rid of Drew, he knew his playing time was going to be limited. And he was like, because like he said personally, Stan don't have the kind of guys on this roster that he likes. He likes multi-positional defenders, and he don't have that. So his scheme does not work effectively because he doesn't have the personnel. That's like trying to power a Christmas tree with like a AA or AAA battery. You might be able to get something going, but it's not gonna last the entire fucking tree. It's not gonna last a long time. It's gonna get tapped out quickly. Or I'll give you a better example. That's like trying to run a car without an alternator. I have another car that's sitting over here that won't work for that very same reason. Bought a new battery. Didn't take that long, probably 5-10 minutes, and that battery was done. That's what this is. So until Stan gets what he needs, I mean, his scheme's not going to work. Now, what I have fought with Stan is if you can't run your normal shit, run what you need to for what you got. I give him credit for this, though. I've seen a little bit more action from Zo, a little bit less action from Bledsoe. I've also seen them playing more into Lonzo's pace to get these guys moving. So I got to give him credit for that. But where he is at huge fault for me is not designing a total system that fits the guys that matter on this team and the guys that you have. You just can't play your style, Stan. And it's not that it's your fault necessarily. You weren't given the guys. You inherited this team and you wanted to coach them. You got to come up with a format that works for the guys that you have. You can't run your basic 4-out shit. And we got a problem with the bench still because guess what? You got a lineup that features Zion Kira, James Johnson, Najee Marshall, and then Jackson Hayes. None of them niggas can shoot. I don't care what the fuck Najee Marshall making. And if that's all you got on the court, I mean, what the fuck can you really do? What can you really do? What floor spaces? So all the defense knows is, okay, fuck them. They actually can play Stan's defense against Stan because why? You don't have to worry about the shooters. You can pack the paint. What is everybody going to do? What's it? You run out, close out hard. They're going to have to go in the paint. There's 4 guys that they have to finish over. None of the guys can shoot. Kira can't shoot. Najee can kind of shoot, but that remains to be seen. I need to see a little bit more from him. James Johnson, he was shooting earlier, but he's not really getting it now. I don't know if that's like normal for him or not. That could have been an anomaly from what we were seeing. He was just playing very well. Zion damn sure can't shoot, and we ain't even got to start talking about the bigs. So the bench is truly part of the problem. You end up with a 13-point lead, and they coughed that shit up. And now you got to wait for the starters to come back in and get the lead again. Oh, by the way, I don't know why we constantly have, both B.I. and Zion and Lonzo. Like, you'll have one of those guys. It needs to be 2 of them in at all times. And quite frankly, the game started getting won again when you had Lonzo and Zion together. I don't know what the issue is, and this has been pointed out plenty. That duo together gets shit done. They get shit done. And quite frankly, nobody on the team is competent enough at passing to get him the ball consistently. Like I was saying last year, Zo turns bad position for Zion into good position. Because others can't make the passes he can make. When the big comes on top and seals off Zion, Zo can just pass over him and give it to Zion, and now he's in an advantage. That guy's in jail. I've been saying this since last year. That's part of the reason you need a God-tier passer next to Zion. Because it puts so much fucking pressure on the team. And you're going to need floor spaces. You need guys who can knock down jump shots to punish them for doubling on Zion. Really, that's all you got is Zo and B.I. That's not enough. It's simply not enough. It is truly and simply not enough. Now, if you gave Zion a roster like that Atlanta Hawks roster, where's the double going to come from? Because you got Hunter, Cam, Trey, Bogdanovich. That's 4 guys right there. That's before I get it to the bench. Herter. Come on now. This team's just not built the way it needs to be built to win these games. Minnesota's going to be a problem next year, especially if they're healthy, because they got something nice brewing. The question is, what are they going to do? Are they going to keep Rubio? Are they going to move Russell? Because, you got Anthony Edwards and Cat. They both work. Rubio worked a little bit, too, and D'Angelo Russell worked, too. So somebody's going to have to move. Because you can't, somebody's got to come off the bench. And you can't put, Anthony Edwards just showed his ass. He going to have to play. So I don't know what their plans is. I'm not sure. I think Rubio still got another year after this, so we'll see what happens. But my God, people are going to talk about, oh, this is bad. No. Minnesota ain't bad right now. They're actually solid. They got all their core guys playing right now. They're healthy. They're not a bad team. But come on, man. We still go get them stats posted, though. All right? But boy. I'm going to take a turn real quick. I'm going to take a quick turn. Y'all work with me here. Monday and Tuesday, you got a back-to-back. Golden State. If you win these 2 games, Pelicans, I think you're either half a game out or you might step in and take, you might just take the play-in seed. And you got Charlotte later this week, and you got the 76ers. If by some chance they're able to win all 4 games this week, they should be in the play-in game. It's right there for the taking. See, the Pelicans control their own destiny at this point. And then they got another game with Golden State. If they win all 3 games with Golden State, they're in. They will be in a play-in game. And they got the Lakers later too. Meanwhile, the Spurs got nothing but tough teams. They got the Lakers. I think they got Philly, Utah several times. I think they got Denver and let's see. Did I mention Milwaukee? If I didn't, Milwaukee. That's a hell of a schedule to have to go through. You got to imagine they're going to drop some of those games. So it is imperative that the Pels win all their games. If they're going to lose a game, it needs to be against a team who doesn't, what's the word I'm looking for? It needs to be against a team that isn't Golden State. Because they need all the Golden State games. They win the Golden State, I think they get the tiebreaker. So if it's tie, they get in. Plus, those games, I think, affect the standings more than any other game. And I mentioned this on Twitter. They can afford to drop one more game. I don't like their odds, even with the playing game to get in, because I think, one of these teams might have to play Dallas or the Lakers. But I'm just saying, this is or Memphis. It'll probably be Memphis. If they get the matchup with Memphis, they should win. But I'm just saying, look, man, this week is going to be hella important. You cannot allow teams to win games. You have to take it. So there's no excuses from this point out. Your destiny is in your hands, Pelicans. So that means Zo, B.I., Zion, and the rest, you guys got to come with it. There can be no more excuses for these guys. That shit is over with. After this game, that shit is over with. You went out there, played hard, won in overtime. Good job. Good job. But this is when everything gets a little deeper. A little bit deeper. Because now the games matter even more. All these about to be playoff games. So it's a matter of, do you want it or not? But post his motherfucking stats. I'm going to say something slightly controversial here. It's probably not important in the grand scheme of things, but I don't think Zion should have got player of the game. I think that should have went to Zo. I think when you look at the entirety of the game, what Zo did for the team starting off and to kind of get them all going and flowing in rhythm, I think he deserved, player of the game. I'm just be upfront honest with you. But, it is what it is. Say, look, let me get on up out of here. It's starting to pour down a little bit harder. And I need to make sure my son is good. Y'all know I'm dedicated to these videos. I came out here in the rain to do this shit in peace just so I can get this out. So I hope y'all appreciate that. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Post this motherfucking stats. We celebrating Zo tonight. Y'all have a good one. Peace.